Good evening, I'm Esther Gido. It's Friday, May 10th. This is Africa 54.
South Africa's African National Congress is set to win again at the polls and retain power despite the party's tainted image. Sudan's traders see economic hope with the change in government. And in our Music Makers segment, Kenyan singer and businesswoman Akode.
South Africa's ruling African National Congress is poised for victory in the country's national election. But the party of Nelson Mandela is also looking to be heading for its worst performance since coming to power 25 years ago. Sisipo Sikweyiya of Reuters reports.
Though it's on course for victory in South Africa's national election, the ruling ANC may not have much cause for celebration. That's because with more than 80% of voting districts counted, the former Liberation Party of Nelson Mandela is heading for its worst national election result ever. As of Friday morning, the ANC was seen to be leading with around 57%, while the main opposition Democratic Alliance was at 20%, and the leftist Economic Freedom Fighters on 10%. For the ANC, it's a bittersweet result. It has not won less than a 60% share of the vote since South Africa's first all-race poll in 1994. 25 years later, and the electorate has expressed its frustration at rampant corruption, high unemployment and racial inequalities that persist 2.5 decades after the end of apartheid.
Me casting my vote, I expect change.
President Cyril Ramaphosa has been trying to reverse a slide in the ANC's support with promises to improve public services, create jobs, tackle corruption and hasten land reforms. But his efforts have been constrained by divisions within his own party. He won an internal party leadership election in December 2017, narrowly defeating a faction ally to scandal-plagued former head of state Jacob Zuma. Analysts say a poor showing for the ANC in this election will embolden Ramaphosa's opponents and risk a potential challenge to his leadership.
That was Sisipo Sikweyiya of Reuters with that report. Now for the latest news on South Africa's election, I'm joined live via Skype from Johannesburg by VOA Southern Africa correspondent Anita Powell. Good evening, Anita.
Hello.
Now, Anita, it looks like ANC is facing quite some challenges when you look at the diminishing support from voters. What does this mean for the party?
Well, as they just mentioned in that excellent news story, which covered most of the bases, this could present a challenge to the new ANC leader, Cyril Ramaphosa. He's only been president for less than a year, and he was going into this election hoping for and expecting a mandate. Is 57% a mandate? I don't think the ANC will see it that way. They have tried to put a positive spin on it today with the Secretary General saying, you know, this is what we expected, we're doing well. But the ANC's always made more than 62% in an election. So this could diminish the leadership capabilities of Cyril Ramaphosa and create quite a bit of internal conflict in the ANC, which has been going on for quite a while already.
Now, Anita, you know, that's quite a challenge there for the party, but what does this mean for incoming President Cyril Ramaphosa when he takes the oath of office? What key issues does he need to address?
Well, he has to try to shore up the economy, the flagging economy, the high unemployment, and to try to purge the stink of corruption, a lot of which is inside the ANC. There are serious corruption allegations against major high-level members of the ANC. And now, with this slightly reduced mandate, he's going to really have to put pedal to the metal and prove to South Africans that he deserves to be here. And that is a tall order, I think, going forward for the new president.
All right, Anita, what is the reaction so far from the firebrand Julius Malema and the other opposition frontrunner, Musi?
Well, let's start with the DA, who say, oh, you know, this isn't so bad. We've picked up more diverse voters than we had before. They're trying to underscore that they're a party of national appeal, not just white South Africans, which is what some people say, that they only appeal to white South Africans. But they're trying to spin what is a 2% loss, which is disappointing. The EFF is sitting pretty. They have nothing to complain about. They got 6% in their debut election in 2014, and now they've knocked up just over 10%. Which is a win, unequivocally, for a new party that, you know, talks a big game, and we'll see if they deliver that in Parliament.
Anita, thank you so much for your excellent reporting. VOA's Anita Powell reporting live via Skype from Johannesburg. Now to Nigeria, where regional militia allied with government forces has freed almost 900 children it had used in the war against the Boko Haram terrorist group, according to the United Nations Children's Fund. UNICEF says the move brings the total number of children freed to more than 1,700. Non-state armed groups embroiled in the decade-long conflict against Boko Haram recruited more than 3,500 children between 2013 and 2017 in Nigeria's Northeast Territory. In September 2017, the militia committed to ending its use of children in the conflict, but it remains unclear how many children have been drawn into Nigerian armed groups, including Boko Haram, or how they have been recruited. Across the continent, in Sudan, the main protest group, the Sudanese Professionals Association, continues to be deadlocked with the country's new military rulers over the group's demand for a swift transition to civilian leadership. The SPA has gained widespread support during the ongoing 4-month of demonstrations that triggered the ouster of former President Omar al-Bashir in April and won what appears to be a string of concessions from the military council. Frustrated by a lack of progress, the Declaration of Freedom and Change Force, a coalition of opposition groups headed by the SPA, is calling for an intensified campaign for civil disobedience in the form of strikes, boycotts, rallies, and sit-ins to increase the pressure on the military. While the protests in Sudan are focused on political reforms and demand for civilian rule, shop owners in the capital are hoping the ouster of Omar al-Bashir will also boost the nation's economy, which has labored for years under shortages and sanctions. Ruud Elmendorp has more from Khartoum.
Life under Sudan's former President Omar al-Bashir was not easy for jeweler Hamid Ahmed, who struggled to put food on the table for his family's 7 children. But the cost of living under food and fuel shortages and 70% inflation sparked a revolution that removed Bashir from power and raised hopes for economic change.
As Sudanese people say, the air came. I feel better now because we can work without anyone against us.
Before Sudan's military ousted Bashir on April 11th, traders in Khartoum's central market, Souk Arabi, were stressed by economic problems, but also lived in fear of the secret police.
Before the revolution, there was no cash money, no freedom of speech, and we didn't have rights. We were afraid to talk about politics.
Bashir's removal and ongoing protests for civilian rule have inspired the people of Sudan and raised new hopes for traders like Ahmed.
The prices have improved now. I hope this market will keep improving after the revolution.
The fruits of Sudan's revolution include billions of dollars in aid from the Middle East and a chance that the United States could lift a state sponsor of terrorism label, freeing access to loans. Since Bashir's ouster, the Sudanese pound has nearly doubled in value in black market trading against the US dollar. But while Sudanese jeweler Ahmed looks forward to better sales, like the protesters, he also hopes for a civilian-led government and a better future for his children. Ruud Elmendorp for VOA News, Khartoum.
Ngugi wa Thiong'o is a renowned author beyond his native country of Kenya. He has authored numerous books such as Decolonizing the Mind, The River Between, and Weep Not Child, among others. On Thursday, Professor wa Thiong'o gave a public reading of his 34th publication at the U.S. Library of Congress and later visited the VOA studios where he spoke to reporters. Here's an excerpt of that interview.
Well, Nobel Prize for Literature. Yeah, there has been this talk for the last, almost every year. There's a buzz, big buzz, but the thing is not to worry too much about it, because I have no say in who gets it or not. The thing is to concentrate on what I can do. And my part is to write, and writing is what I enjoy doing.
Professor Ndirangu Wachanga of the University of Wisconsin has documented the iconic author's work and joins me to tell us more. Professor Ndirangu Wachanga, welcome to VOA and to Africa 54.
Thank you so much for having me, Esther.
First of all, your reaction to wa Thiong'o's comments to VOA yesterday, that he's not really looking forward to being a Nobel Peace Prize winner. What he's concerned about is the work that he does.
I think that has been his view, that he is more interested in winning the Nobel Prize of the people's mind. And I think he has already done that. His work has been translated in more than 30 languages, and they have been read in different countries across the globe. And I think he is more interested in the impact his work has had. But it doesn't mean that he's not interested in awards. Let's remember the first work that Ngugi did was, in fact, for an award when he was a student at Makerere University. But I think with age and looking at the impact of his work, I think he is more interested in how much it has humanized him and how his work has also humanized the other.
Now, you have chronicled Ngugi wa Thiong'o, his journey with interviews, with video footage. I think you have exclusive rights to doing some sort of work on what he has been able to achieve for people who've never heard about him. Who is Ngugi wa Thiong'o?
Ngugi is one of the foremost writers to have come from East Africa, and indeed from Africa. And there are certain things we might take for granted now, but let's remember there has been a history which has been written by others, which claims that Africa did not have a history or Africa did not have a mode of self-understanding. And Ngugi was one of those people who were able to take those condescending traits about us in very powerful ways. And he has done that. He has the ability to see and to see well and to write what he has seen in a way that is very transformative.
Professor, very briefly, why is it important to chronicle Ngugi wa Thiong'o's journey?
Ngugi is not just a maker of our history, he is also a carrier of that history. He is 81 years old, and Ngugi has been able to remind us of that past. The biography of Ngugi is, in a way, the biography of our process of becoming.
All right, Professor, thank you very much for coming on Africa 54.
Thank you so much,
Appreciate your
Esther.
insight on this. Mr. Wachanga is a professor of information science and media studies at the University of Wisconsin. We're excited to hear what you think about Africa 54. Join the discussion on Facebook. The address is Africa 54. We're also streaming our broadcast live on Facebook, so please watch and share our show with your friends. Also check out our headlines 24/7 on voaafrica.com. Coming up, a musical Mother's Day tribute.
Could be French,
English,
Portuguese,
Bantu,
Arabic.
It is the beat.
The African beat that counts.
The beat does all the
translations.
It cuts across all languages and gives us the understanding that this is the African beat.
It is so distinct
and adhesive.
It binds us together.
African Beat on the Voice of America. For more information, visit our website at www.voanews.com/AfricanBeat.
I am Sheikh Asali, host and senior editor of VOA's international call-in talk show, Straight Talk Africa.
Today we'll examine the tobacco industry.
We pretty much touch on anything that you can think of. Politics, health issues, human rights issues, you name it, we talk about it. The issues that we discuss are pertinent to most people on the African continent. A very, very rare and unique opportunity to interact with their leaders.
And here's what's trending. Millions of Americans are searching for new ways to look good and do something good for the environment. Business is booming for rental and clothing resale businesses. Rent the Runway began as a place where women could rent formal wear for special occasions, and it's expanded into brick-and-mortar shops and a subscription service for everyday and workwear. For those items you can't rent, like shoes and workout clothes, there are online resale shops where you can buy and sell used clothing. Next up, these yoga class members are meeting some furry onlookers. At this alternative fitness event in the western German town of Willich, participants are doing the downward dog, surrounded by alpacas. Organizers claim the animals have a particularly calm charisma, making them perfect yoga partners. Alpaca yoga appears to be the latest example of a peculiar trend that pairs yoga classes with wildlife. Other examples include limoga, yoga with lemurs, and goat yoga. And that's what's trending today.
Habiba Ali, an entrepreneur from Kaduna, northern Nigeria, recently accepted the Vital Voices Global Leadership Economic Empowerment Award here in Washington, D.C. Ali received the award for her work as the founder and CEO of Sosa Renewable Energies, an innovative company that helps find renewable energy solutions to those in Nigeria who need it most. VOA's Abdulaziz Toro spoke with Ali to learn more about her work and her perspective on being a Muslim female entrepreneur working in northern Nigeria.
But what's the reason why you are here in America?
Well, I'm here because I have had exposure to work with Vital Voices Global Partnerships. It's an organization that supports women and encourages women globally to become who they want to be. And they have a yearly award that they give out called the Global Leadership Award. And this year I am the one that's been selected to win the Economic Empowerment Global Leadership Award.
On behalf of Vital Voices, it is my great honor to present the Economic Empowerment Award to Habiba Ali.
Habiba, I'm Express. You're the only woman from Africa and a Muslim from Arewa. How did you get selected?
Well, I think it's based on the work that we do, and because we do our work not just from a profit-making angle, we also are very passionate about what we do. We're looking at empowering women as well and empowering the youth in the communities that we work in. We're all about ensuring that there's economic development. Whatever community we go into, we ensure that our exposure to that community is seriously felt, and we don't leave that community until they not only have access to reliable and efficient power, energy, but they also have some sort of economic development. And we're just like totally building the women's capacity and ensuring that those women can, within themselves, find the strength within and project themselves forward. At SOSAI, we don't sell fancy technologies that become trophies in homes. We find solutions. Every day, my team and I help people solve problems through renewable energy.
Tell me a bit about the challenges that you face as a female, as a Muslim, as someone who came from Nigeria.
Well, the challenges I face, I mean, you know, I'm from northern Nigeria, and being a woman in northern Nigeria and doing this kind of job that has you going out and being exposed constantly comes with some sort of resentment, sort of. The people feel like, no, a woman shouldn't be doing this, but I don't look at it. I try to move myself away from what is negative. I just try to focus on what is my work and what it is doing for people. I'm more concerned about the number of lives that I am touching than that one person who feels that it's not for me to move forward.
I believe that women can and must be agents of change, makers of peace, and drivers of progress. It is women who are doing the hard, essential work of reinvigorating our democracy.
What is your call to other female who actually want to challenge, who actually want to do the same thing you're doing in order really to be able to see themselves in US and other world and being like really received?
Well, I'll tell them to just keep trying. And, you know, we should never see obstacles, but the ways to cross those obstacles. I'm from Nigeria. I'm from northern Nigeria as well. I mean, there's a lot of challenges going on. I live in a city where every week at least 15 people are kidnapped. And, you know, sometimes these are the kind of depressing situations that want to make you back out. But I don't see, if we all run away, who is going to sit back and fix it?
Habiba Ali, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay.
It's Music Makers Friday, and joining us now is Africa 54 Heather Maxwell with today's music. I understand you have something very special for mothers today, right?
Yes, I do. Thanks, Esther. Hi, everybody. So on Music Time in Africa this week, my featured song of the week is in honor of Mother's Day. Kwame Ofori joined me in the studio, and on today's Music Makers, I share this tribute with you. All right. Hello, everybody. Hello. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, everyone.
It's Song of the Week time, and we have a song that's called Shengerera Mama. Kwame, tell us about where that song's from.
So it's from Kenya, and it's by the artist Akodi.
Oh, yeah. We love it. It's perfect for this Sunday because it is Mother's Day. And let's just jump to it.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely humble, and then like you have like mom here out of like a household or something like that.
Yes, her mom is so sweet. Well,
yeah.
I mean, she presents her mother with a car, and her mom is so excited, and she's saying, Akode is saying, you know, I've been wanting to do this for my mom. She deserves all of this, and I love it because it shows that, you know, women can do for women. And women do for their mothers. Yes. I mean, what better person is there to do something for them?
Shengerera by Ahmed.
I celebrate you, mama. Merci Zambe na ndenge otie mama na bomoi. Awe.
I love my mother so much. We talk every day.
I love you, mama.
We had a family band, and we sang together and performed together. So music runs deep with us, and it starts with mama.
My mother figure, my grandma who raised me for a long time, and then also my mom raising me side by side. So mine, I had like a double whammy, two mother figures.
That's awesome.
Mama na Dominique na Alphonse. Producer Toti Kechi record.
know, one thing I really love about Akodi is how she is such an entrepreneur and a businesswoman. I saw several interviews on YouTube about her. I haven't met her personally yet, but she is very dynamic. She has several children, and she runs everything. She even said once, someone said, well, who are you dating now? And she said, I'm not dating anyone. They are dating me. And that's Music Maker Friday. For more Music Time in Africa, be sure to listen to my hour-long radio program live or online, Saturdays and Sundays on FM and shortwave, or listen online anytime at voanews.com and just search Music Time in Africa. And please follow me on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel, Twitter at Music Time Africa, Instagram at MTIA Maxwell, and Facebook at Music Time in Africa. Esther, back to you.
Which one is your favorite? YouTube, Facebook? Because I want to follow you. Now,
they're all good.
Listen, it's Mother's Day Sunday. You have something special, by the way. Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. You looking forward to celebrate making something special, or are you getting a treat?
You know, I'm not getting a treat, I don't think, but I'm going to treat my mother. I'm going to call her and sing her favorite song.
You know what? I really think we should wish all the mothers a very, very happy Mother's Day, including the ones to be and the ones to come in a few years.
Very true, very true, very true.
I heard that was refreshing. I love the music. I love the energy between you and Kwame there.
Thank you.
And by the way, she's Akode.
Akode.
She's an entrepreneur, a mom. You know, happy Mother's Day, Akode. If you are here listening to us, yeah, right? And she's wonderful. She is an icon in Kenya. Yeah.
Thank
you.
So
where are you planning to go next in Africa?
Well, there is a project in the works. I'm not supposed to say where yet, but let me give you a hint.
East,
Timbuktu.
west, east, west. Oh,
Timbuktu.
Now I know. So they should be waiting for you. And what should we expect next week, Friday? You're going to be here.
I will be here next Friday with the same kind of thing, maybe another song of the week. I have one in mind, but you never know. A lot of things can happen between now and Friday.
And are you going out for some music performance in D.C. today?
Actually, Sunday, I'm doing the Jazz Jam, D.C. Jazz Jam.
And you're playing?
I'm singing.
Heather, we'll see you right back here on Friday.
Thanks, Esther.
Can't wait to see what you have for us. It was refreshing. Thank you so much. And that's our show for today. We thank you so much for being with us. Watch Africa 54 on our website at voaafrica.com. From all of us here in Washington, have a great weekend.